Steve Maraboli once said, "Life doesn't get easier or more forgiving, we get stronger and more resilient." And honestly, he couldn't have put it into better words. It becomes clearer and clearer every day, especially in the light of the last few years. Think COVID and the fears of a third world war. The ability to pick up the broken pieces and soldier on, the ability to move past difficult situations and keep on pushing forward is very necessary if we seek growth and progress. If you've been struggling with staying strong in difficult times, we understand difficult situations can have an immense effect on the human body and mind. But you can move past these tough situations and come out on top. How? By building your resilience. And in this video, we'll examine 15 ways in which you can build your resilience and outlast those seemingly tough situations. Ready to get started? Let's get into it. Welcome to Alux.com, the place where future billionaires come to get inspired. Number 1. Spending more time being positive than negative. Staying positive as much as you can is a very important part of building resilience. In most of these difficult situations, it may not be easy to remain happy and hopeful, but you have to make a conscious effort to at least try. We're not talking about toxic positivity here because sometimes negative feelings are definitely valid. Just don't wallow in them. Acknowledge your negative feelings, understand them, and figure out how to move toward positivity. This is about developing a positive outlook towards yourself and your problems. Don't focus all of your energy on the current state of things. Instead, look forward to how the future would make the situation better. Staying in a negative or neutral state sort of just leaves you stuck, sad, and constantly worried, and you definitely don't want that. You want to be able to keep going, and that's what staying positive does. It reminds you that there are better days ahead. Number 2, strengthen relationships and build connections. It's important that you prioritize your relationships and even build new healthy connections to help you along the way. What relationships and meaningful connections do is they provide an outlet for you to be able to communicate with other people about your problems and difficult situations. Now, depending on how great this relationship or friendship is, it could push you to want to keep trying or to want to give up. And sometimes we all just need to listen, and then we'd realize that things aren't as bad as we thought they were. It also makes you understand that you're not alone, and there are people supporting you from the sidelines. No matter the situations we find ourselves in, communication is very important, and as the popular saying goes, a problem shared is a problem solved. Number 3, self-care. Maintaining a good state of physical, emotional, and mental health is a major step toward being resilient. In fact, if you're in a good place mentally and emotionally, you're more likely to push yourself through difficult situations. Only a healthy person can give their 100% to a cause. So, neglecting your physical health, your body and mind, will do you no good in the long run. Eat properly, sleep at the appropriate time and for the appropriate number of hours. Stay hydrated and throw in a little bit of exercise. Meditate when you can, read, write things down, and stay positive. Healthy living and proper care of yourself can help to reduce your stress, fight depressive episodes, and also keep anxiety at bay. If your body is strong and ready to fight, you're more likely to become that resilient version of yourself. Number 4, avoid comparison. One thing that really is easy to do is to compare yourself to others, and even though we all kinda do it, it's really not a good thing to do. In fact, comparing yourself to others actually does more harm than good most of the time. Ask yourself this: what would I gain from comparing myself or my situation to others? The honest answer here is absolutely nothing. What happens when you constantly make these social comparisons is you make up more situations without fully understanding the life of the other person. Unfortunately, this leads to stagnation and you'll end up heaping blame onto yourself. Simply put, comparisons stunt growth, and that's the opposite of what resilience is. So you need to shun these comparisons and focus on yourself. Number 5, be goal-oriented. Pro tip: know exactly what you want and ruthlessly go after it. It's important that you have a goal you're working toward, and this goal will provide direction for your entire life. Having clarity and some sense of direction is always important to building resilience. If you have to, get a diary and write down your goals. Set a timeline. Draw a plan up and write down actionable steps you can take toward achieving this goal. Go over this plan day after day. Alter it where you notice things that can be better, and continue to chip away at it. It's very important to run with a vision and not just by mere feelings or thoughts. When you put things into perspective, it helps you to attain your goals and build a resilience to challenges that could come up along the way. Number 6, know your strengths. What are you good at? What do you excel in? What are things in which you just have an advantage? Because these are things that make you stand out from the crowd. So, what are they? These answers are your strengths, and understanding them will help you to build resilience toward the right direction. Rather than focusing on things you aren't the greatest at or dwelling on your perceived shortcomings, you should find out things you're good at and leverage them. Focus on these strengths, build your goals around them, and you'll see how quickly you break down barriers. Also, as soon as you identify what your strengths are, you'd have a clearer vision and improved understanding of yourself, which is a big step in building resilience. Number 7, accept change. If there's one thing that's constant in life, it is change. Seasons change, people change, the weather changes, nothing remains the same forever. And as humans, we must learn to accept change, especially when we can do nothing to alter what's happened. Do you know why? Well, dwelling on these circumstances you cannot change does nothing good. It keeps you in the past, filling you with regrets and all those what-ifs. On the flip side, though, accepting that you cannot change these situations opens up your eyes to situations that you can actually change. You can attain resilience if you're able to focus on things you can influence and alter, rather than the things that are completely out of your control. Number 8, believe in yourself. Now, this might sound cliche, especially since we hear it all the time from almost everyone who tries to give you advice. But whether we like it or not, believing in ourselves is one of the greatest superpowers we have as humans. Believe in yourself and your abilities, and this will in turn build your confidence and self-esteem. And these, my friends, often promote resilience. A person who's very self-aware recognizes their most skillful areas and things that they're very good at. And this serves as a booster when they need to keep moving forward despite the odds. So what you've got to do is throw that self-doubt out the window, ignore all of the what-ifs, and believe that you are all you need to get things done. Number 9, keep your sights on the future. There's nothing for you in the past. If you've learned from all of your mistakes, there's no point in wallowing in them. You can't change them, so why bother trying? The only important thing is to keep your sights ahead on the future. And to do this, accept that the past is the past, and the future is what you make of it. If you think the future will hold nothing but hardship, then maybe it will, because it'll become a self-fulfilling prophecy. However, if you believe the future is filled with bright and beautiful days, then you'll push and push until those days come. This pushing will build your resilience, and challenges will be nothing but tiny obstacles to you. And most importantly, focusing on the future helps us to remain positive even in difficult times. Number 10, speak up. You'll never get it if you don't ask for it. Barack Obama would have never made history if he kept his dreams to himself. Speak up. Share your opinions, your thoughts, and your dreams with the people around you. Express yourself at every opportunity. If you decide to keep mute, what would that do for you? I don't see it doing any good, both in the short or long term. It's important to develop the ability to speak up. Put your thoughts out there, ask questions, make suggestions. You never know who might be listening to you. Most great stories begin with a person who was not afraid to voice their opinions and speak up for what they believe in. Nobody is ever going to hear that great idea if it just sits quietly inside your mind forever. Number 11, learn from your mistakes. Look, everybody makes mistakes. It's an important part of the natural state of things. You get some things right and some things, well, you don't get them very right at all. But don't fret, Aluxer, because it's totally fine. It happens to every single one of us. What matters is what you do when you make these mistakes. Do you sit down and wallow in those errors, or do you go back to your drawing table and learn from your mistakes? Because here's what we suggest you do. You go back to that drawing table. Every mistake should be seen as an opportunity to learn and grow, a chance to do something that makes you better. You now have a certain experience and you've come out with an important lesson. With that, you just turned a loss into a huge win. Great, right? Learning from your mistakes and not just dwelling on them helps you to face tough circumstances while still staying strong and staying resilient. Number 12, prioritize your motivation. What makes you want to soldier on? What motivates you? You need to be able to channel that into your day-to-day life as much as possible. Remember what it is that you want to keep going for and prioritize that as your motivation. Nothing drives a person more than the reason they're doing something. You have to find your why. Perhaps you want to make your parents proud because they did a lot for you as a child, or you want to prove to yourself that you're actually capable of success on your terms. Then remind yourself every day of your whys, and these whys will push you to soldier on. Do you want to build resilience? Then constantly find ways to keep yourself motivated and disciplined. Hinge on that relationship with motivation and you'll find yourself driving toward your goals irrespective of the situation. Number 13, embrace challenges. Challenges? I'm not sure about those. I'd rather run away, thanks. Does that sound like you? Because look, we understand why you would want to run away. Challenges can be daunting and they can drain you of your physical and mental energy. But try not to run away from them, okay? They may seem to pose immediate problems, but the only way to tackle them is by actually embracing them, meeting them head on, and seeing them as an opportunity to grow. Challenges help you to understand pain and difficulty. They help you to discover more about yourself and how you can adapt and make things work. Embracing challenges also helps you to test yourself out, and you'd be surprised to see how you actually thrive in situations you thought would knock you out. Self-discovery is an important step to building resilience, and these challenges provide a perfect pathway to self-discovery. Number 14, learn to be decisive. The journey to resilience hinges on our abilities to make concise and timely decisions. Indecision is a time eater, and if you allow it, it would have a drastic effect on your career. When you set goals, you must always make timely decisions, as stalling will affect a number of other things. But before you make these decisions, always weigh the pros and cons of your decision and consider all the possibilities and likely outcomes. Speak to people, maintain two-way communication, ask for help when necessary, and make these decisions that need to be made. Always remember that no one will make these decisions for you, and even if they do, your indecision will catch up with you sooner or later. Number 15, build commitment. What does it mean to be committed? Well, it simply means that you should learn to build commitment to a cause. Now, this cause could be anything as long as it matters to you. Whether it's your relationships, your career, or a project you're working on, it's important to maintain a level of commitment to these things as they help you to build the bridges that keep you going when the going gets tough. Simply put, your level of commitment to whatever cause you're invested in should be high. Remember that your commitment would in turn help you to build your resilient nature so you have the motivation and determination to push through those hard times. Whew, and there you have it, Aluxer. 15 ways you can build your resilience to keep on going. Ever heard the saying, tough times never last, but tough people do? Well, it is still just as true as ever. Now, Aluxer, since you stuck with us until the very end, we've got a bonus for you. Number 16. Understand, resilience takes time to learn. Okay, no human being is born with resilience as a trait. It's not built in. It's something you learn as you grow and gather experiences through life. And come on, give yourself a break. You're doing just fine over here. Resilience takes time and practice. You might not be so great at it right away or right now, but take conscious efforts and steps to become better. You've got this, Aluxer. Do you have any tips of your own you think would be helpful for others building resilience? Because if you do, add them in the comment section below and help the community grow together. Thank you for watching this video, Aluxer. If you found it valuable, consider subscribing to our channel and joining our awesome community. And if you're still hungry for more, we handpicked this video for you to watch next. Or head over to our website for more amazing content. See you tomorrow.